Welcome to Occult Archives, where we uncover the mysteries, myths, and legends behind history's most feared books. From mystical grimoires to ancient religious texts, these books carry secrets too dangerous to be read. This is Season 1, Episode 30, The Devil's Blueprint, Resurrection, Rituals, and the Rise of the Fallen. Let's dive in.
So for this deep dive, you've brought us excerpts from what seems to be a movie transcript.
Right, it's called The Devil Conspiracy.
Okay, The Devil Conspiracy, and it's a movie.
Yeah, looks like a science fiction fantasy kind of film. It's got a pretty wild story mixing religious ideas with genetic engineering and prophecies.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack. So what are we looking at today?
Well, our goal is to explore how this movie interprets some pretty heavy stuff, like Lucifer's rebellion, his potential return, and the classic battle of good versus evil.
Sounds intense. Where do we even begin with something like that?
I think the movie starts with Lucifer's fall from grace, but it's not a simple fall.
What do you mean?
It portrays it as a full-blown rebellion. Lucifer leading an army against God himself.
A war in heaven.
Yeah, and Archangel Michael is the one who defeats him and casts him into hell.
It sounds almost epic in scale.
It is. And then Lucifer gets chained in fire. But even then, he's defiant. He vows to break free, and not just as an equal to Michael, but as his master. It's a pretty strong statement.
He wants to rule over everything.
Exactly. He wants to be God. And he's just gathering legions of demons in hell to help him get revenge on Earth.
So hell isn't just a place of punishment. It's like his headquarters.
That's how the movie presents it.
Mm-hmm.
And they tie this back to Earth by mentioning a stronghold.
What's that?
It's like a base built by Lucifer's followers on Earth, the place where he supposedly fell.
And they're just waiting for him to come back.
Yes, the movie suggests that it's a gateway, the spot where Lucifer will rise again to take over the world.
Okay, so we have this cosmic battle and a very earthly plan for domination, and then the Shroud of Turin comes into play.
Exactly. The transcript mentions an exhibition of the Shroud in Chin, Italy.
Right. The Shroud of Turin, for those who don't know, is believed to be the burial cloth of Jesus. Some even say it has his image on it.
Yeah, and the movie calls it a photograph of the resurrection. So you can imagine how important it is to people.
Definitely. And they have it on display with all this security.
But there's more than just the shroud. They also have artwork showing St. Michael defeating the devil.
A reminder of that first battle we talked about.
Right, and it leads to a discussion about the nature of evil. Is it some external force, or is it something within us?
Like a personal struggle.
Exactly. But then there are characters talking about prophecies, about the devil returning as a false god. It's like they're presenting both sides of that debate.
It definitely adds another layer to the story.
For sure. But then things take a crazy turn.
What happened?
Someone steals the shroud.
They steal the Shroud of Turin in the middle of this big exhibition.
Yep. There's even talk of security footage showing it happening.
That's bold.
It is. And they show how it affects Cardinal Veni. He was in charge of protecting the shroud.
I bet he's freaking out.
Totally. He starts having visions of demons and cults. It's like he's losing it.
Wow.
Oh, and a woman is involved in the theft, too.
Okay, so we have a stolen relic, a cardinal going crazy, a mysterious woman. What else is going on?
Then the transcript introduces this scientist, Dr. Elland, who's working on a pretty wild project.
What is it?
He's basically resurrecting famous people using their DNA.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's got a secure lab with DNA from people like Da Vinci, Galileo, Michelangelo.
And how is that even possible?
He's using genetic engineering. Claims he can bring these dry old bones to life, as he puts it.
That's both amazing and terrifying.
Totally. And he even shows off a couple of the risen, as he calls them, Antonio Vivaldi and Michelangelo Buonarroti.
They're actually alive again.
That's what the movie shows, and then he auctions them off for insane amounts of money. It really makes you think about the ethics of it all.
You're bringing back these geniuses, but what are the consequences? What does it mean for them, for us?
Right, it raises all sorts of questions. But then it gets even darker, because this whole thing is connected to Lucifer's plan.
You're kidding.
Nope. They talk about preparing surrogates to house Lucifer, like he's been waiting for the right vessel.
And how does the shroud fit into this?
They choose a woman from the cathedral, Sophia, as one of the surrogates. They implant a fertilized egg in her.
So this baby is important.
That's putting it mildly. They call it a very important baby. And the choice of Sophia specifically is based on her caption.
Caption? What does that even mean?
It's not totally clear. Maybe it's about her ancestry or something significant about her birth. It's like she's been chosen for this.
This is getting really creepy.
Right. But then a new player enters the scene. They call him the Hound of Heaven.
Who's that?
He seems to be Archangel Michael, back to stop Lucifer's return. He knows all about Lucifer's fall and the people guarding that gateway to hell we talked about.
So he knows what's going on.
Yeah, he even talks about prophecies. Says Lucifer will break free from his chains and the gate to hell will open.
This is bad news.
It is. He also mentions two ancient beasts who are going to help Lucifer. The woman, maybe Sophia, and the beast of the ground.
What is the beast of the ground?
That's not really explained. But the Hound of Heaven says Lucifer can't just possess anybody because of his pride and rage. It would destroy a normal person.
But there's one body that could hold him.
That's the implication. It's not said outright, but it seems like they're talking about Jesus's body. And the shroud is important because it might have his DNA.
That's why they stole it. They want to use Jesus's DNA to create a body for Lucifer.
It seems so. And that's when things really start to get crazy. There's a chase to find the shroud.
Who's after it?
Well, there's Laura, an art student, who somehow gets caught up in all this. Right. And then there are priests and even a creepy asylum mention.
Sounds like a mess.
It is. And it gets violent. Those who want Lucifer back are willing to do whatever it takes.
What about the baby? Do we know anything more about that?
That's where things get really murky. There's a lot of debate about who or what this child is. Some say it's Lucifer reborn, but others think it could be something else entirely. Maybe even connected to Jesus's DNA somehow.
So it could be good or evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They even suggest it might have Michael's power or be destined to fight Lucifer. It's all very confusing.
And then there's this big confrontation, right?
Yes, the climax of the movie. Those trying to bring back Lucifer face off against those trying to stop him. There's this talk about a new beginning, but it's not clear what that means.
Is there a winner?
The transcript leaves it pretty open-ended. We see Michael, but he doesn't have his sword. It's like he's powerless.
And Lucifer.
He's there claiming to rule the earth through the body of God's precious son.
That's disturbing.
It is. And the last scene is a baptism, but with blood. It's for the exalted prince.
So who is this exalted prince, Lucifer or the child?
The movie doesn't say. We don't know if Lucifer wins, if the baby is good or evil, or what happens to the world.
Wow, that's a lot to think about. It's this wild mix of religious imagery, science fiction, and good old-fashioned horror.
Totally. And it makes you question everything. What is good? What is evil? What are the limits of science? It's a pretty intense ride.
You've certainly given us a lot to ponder. This devil conspiracy movie sounds both fascinating and terrifying. It really makes you think about the implications of messing with forces beyond our understanding.
It does. And it leaves us with so many questions. What is the nature of this child? What does it mean for hell to come to earth in this context? And what happens when we resurrect figures from the past? It's a lot to consider.
Thanks for sharing this intriguing material with us. This deep dive into the devil conspiracy was a wild ride.
You got it. And to our listeners, keep exploring those dark corners of history and literature. You never know what secrets you might uncover. Until next time, stay curious.